Hey guys, David here. Sorry for the formality. Just came back from a graduation party. 4 days after the actual graduation. But enough about me, let's talk about what is really important. The big gargantuan event that happened this week. And that is E3. Also known as Sony kicking Microsoft in the giant gonads. Whew, that was... That was exhilarating. So let's start off about the main thing, the main reason why I tuned into E3, particularly the first 2 days, because the first 2 days consisted most of the actual press conferences. Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, although Nintendo didn't do their exact actual, an actual real press conference on Tuesday. They actually did a Nintendo Direct. But they, Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, and on the developer side, Ubisoft and what was it, EA. First off, let's start off with, of course, the company that I was expecting, that I was most anticipated to see from, which is Sony. Of course, the PlayStation 4 was unveiled. The actual design of the box is mainly an italicized box. It's a parallelogram, to be exact. And honestly, I really dig the design of the box. I think it looks it looks like a video game console, but it doesn't look like anything that is overly exaggerated, because that's one of the things that despite the fact that it looks like a freaking VCR, is one of the things that I don't want to say disappointed, because I didn't exactly have any real hopes, but I looked at Xbox One and I said, why couldn't you do anything creative with the actual design of the box? Whereas PS4, they actually made a slight change, a slight variation to make it seem like, hey, this is a video game console. This is not just some simple box that could be confused with a VCR or DVR or DVD player, Blu-ray player, whatever. Which, of course, is may be the thing that that Microsoft is going for with their Xbox, focusing more on the entertainment aspect of things rather than video gaming. But overall, the design of the PlayStation 4 is nice. I will say that my heart skipped a beat a little bit when he pulled it out, because it, upon first glance, my very microscopic reaction was that it did look like the Xbox One. It had that glossy section at the top, and then the rest of it was matte, or it was separated by this little line. I mean, the Xbox has that same thing going for it, where it has it's mostly a glossy finish, but one side it has one particular glossy finish, and then the other side has a pattern. It's one big vent, so it has that grill like pattern. But it kind of looked, at least to me, it looked like it was imitating that a little bit. But fortunately, once he started to flip it around and show a full 360 view and actually holding it in his hand, it made me go, okay, not only is this thing the size of a PlayStation 3 Slim, which if you go through my Twitter feed, I predicted, so it's nice to know that I got the prediction right. So it's about the size of the PlayStation 3 Slim that came out back in 2009. And again, it has a nice slick design that I wouldn't mind having in my living room, and people will come into my living room knowing that that's a PlayStation 4. The second punch, $399. The PlayStation 4 is only going to cost $400. Now that's not the cheapest price ever. I mean, I remember some people saying that they wanted a $299 price. I knew that wasn't going to happen, but to be honest, it would have been one of the best things in the world if it was $299. But I knew they weren't going to go with that route. But fortunately, they went with the next best price, which was $399. And that's not to say that Microsoft's price point was ridiculous. I mean, it's $500. It's $100 more, which makes all the difference for the younger generation, like people who, kids who are in middle school or high school that are huge gamers and want to, want to be received into the next generation of consoles with open arms. That $100 difference makes all the difference in the world. I mean, it makes all the difference when it comes to them collecting and gathering their allowance in order to purchase this damn thing. And the fact that Xbox One is $500 is not totally exaggerated. It's not the, most detrimental price point ever, but it's not the most welcoming either, because it is smack down right in the middle. It's not $400, but at least it's not $600 like PlayStation, like Sony did back with the PlayStation 3 back in 2006. So Xbox didn't really. It's a case where Xbox did not mess up with their E3 convention, but Sony just knocked it out of the park. And yeah, it's there's moments where I feel a little sympathetic for Xbox, but to be honest, hey, they made their choices. Now they gotta live with their choices. Now that will I will touch upon that in a second. But again, $400. The design of the PlayStation 4 is nice. And next, the Knockout, the thing that floored Xbox. Used games could be traded with anybody. You know, you can trade it in for retail. It's the exact same model that is right now with the PlayStation 3 and pretty much any, you know, current generation consoles. You can trade the game with your friend. You can trade the game at retail. You can borrow it. You can lend it. You can, same thing. You can do anything you can with the physical copy of the game. Live and let live. I mean, it's as simple as that. And along with that, you do not have to be connected to the internet to play your single player games, and you don't have to check periodically like the Xbox One, you know, like every 24 hours. Don't have to do that. It's the same model, the same thing you're doing right now with the PlayStation 3. You do that with the PlayStation 4. The only key difference is that, duh, you still need the internet to play online multiplayer. The twist, however, that people are initially going to look at and be like, what's that? Is that now you are required to have PlayStation Plus to play online multiplayer. Now, the reason why people should learn to adapt quickly is because PlayStation Plus is fucking awesome. I've been a PlayStation Plus user now for about a month. I have a 3-month trial. Well, it's not really a trial. It's simply just a smaller purchase. You can purchase 3 months of PlayStation Plus for $18, or you can purchase a full year for $49.99, $50. I purchased the 3 months because I wanted to see if I liked this service, and if I did, then I'll settle for the 1 year subscription. And to be honest, so far I'm on the track of purchasing that 1 year subscription because so far PlayStation Plus is amazing. You get all these free games that would have costed you about maybe 4, 5, maybe even 6 times as much more money as before, and you get all of these discounts on other games and just a whole lot of exclusive things. And it's just a very valuable service, a service that I just don't see anybody complaining for. Now, granted, the price is probably going to go up. It's $50 for a year. For the PlayStation 4, they're asking $5 a month, which equals to $60 a year. It's only $10 more, but again, you're getting all these free games, and these are big AAA games. I mean, as of this video, Uncharted 3, XCOM: Enemy Unknown, Little Big Planet, Karting, Deus Ex: Human Revolution are up for free on the PlayStation Plus service. And I believe in the latter half of June, Saints Row the Third and possibly even some more titles are going to be posted on the PlayStation Plus network for free. So, yeah, I don't see how you can possibly find any sort of negativity in that. But enough about that, let's go back to the PlayStation 4. Anyways, just the hardware and the spec. I mean, they already went over the specs of the hardware during their convention in February. So here, they just released this bombshell of, you know, no restrictions on used games, no required internet connection, you know, $400 price tag, a sleek design that you would like to have in your living room. Mic drop. Boom. Oh yeah, and they showed some games. Now, don't get me wrong, the games look amazing, but I don't know, I just feel like this, the gravity of what they unveiled for the actual system received more praise, and it has obviously more attention, and it has a rippling effect upon the next generation of console wars than the actual games that they were showcasing. Because Xbox did showcase some games that I'm personally interested. Hell, fucking yeah, I want Battlefront. I can't believe I messed that up. Battlefront 3. Star Wars Battlefront 3. That teaser got me excited. Now, granted, I don't know why they're not calling it Battlefront 3. It just says Star Wars Battlefront, so I thought that was a little interesting. There's probably there's the possibility of them adding, you know, a subtitle or something instead of actually calling it Battlefront 3. But they should just call it Battlefront 3, and everybody will be happy. And I believe it's coming to both systems, not just Xbox. But if it's just coming to Xbox, then I'll be a little sad because. And it wouldn't make sense for it to just be on Xbox. I mean, they wouldn't risk losing that kind of money. And, you know, they showed other games that I'm interested in too. Well, I'm interested in it, but I'm obviously not going to get it since it is an Xbox One exclusive, and that is Dead Rising 3. That looks interesting. But more on Sony's side when it comes to their, and Sony, some of the games on Sony's conference are not going to be PlayStation exclusives. They're also going to come out on the Xbox. Like Destiny. Destiny looks cool. I'm going to echo what a lot of people have said. It looks like a mixture between Halo and Borderlands. And yeah, like I said, it looks good. Other games they all look great. Actually, they don't even look good. They look great. But all we have right now are trailers in which only a handful of them showed any actual gameplay. So it's too soon to tell, and it's easier to digest. Well, I don't want to say digest. Yeah, I guess it's easier to digest games and speculate on when they're going to come out, what kind of mechanics they're going to have, how they're going to play out, that sort of thing, because they're just games. Whereas the console is what you're going to be playing on, so the console is the whole center of attention when it comes to all these conventions. And I think that Sony knocked it out of the park when it came to their presentation of their conference. My only complaints, I honestly cannot really think of any complaints, except maybe a released window. They kept saying holiday 2013. Now, granted, the fact that Microsoft unveiled that their Xbox One is being released in November of 2013, that gives us a great reason to speculate that PlayStation 4 is definitely going to come out in November. When in November? I can guarantee you before Black Friday, because I have no idea why either company would not release their console before Black Friday. Because Black Friday is the new Christmas. Christmas is no longer Christmas. It's Black Friday. So I have no idea why they wouldn't release it before Black Friday. So I predict about halfway through November, the release of both consoles, and you'll have them in your own home by Black Friday and or Christmas. But again, the only complaint that I would have is that there was no exact window. I mean, they could have at least mentioned the month, not exactly the actual date. They could have just mentioned November 2013. But they figured Xbox already did that, so they're gonna wait for probably another convention when they're gonna unveil the full date, final specs on both the PlayStation 4 and the controller and the PlayStation Eye, and probably even more games. Games that are in particular more exclusive titles to the PlayStation 4. And again, some of the exclusives that they're unveiling this year, like the Order 1886 and all these other games, like I said, they all look great, but we don't know much about them, so I can't speak about several of their components. And at the same time, most of the trailers that we were shown were pre-rendered footage, so I don't see how we could possibly speculate any more than that. But games that we did get gameplay footage on look amazing. Batman Arkham Origins, definitely looking forward to that. And other than that, I really cannot say anything else on both Sony and Microsoft's point, except I'm not a Microsoft guy, so I can't say oh, this sucks. But at the same time, I can't say that they messed up, because they did what they weren't supposed to, and they did what they were supposed to, which is to gear away from talking about TV, sports, entertainment, movies, TV, and they just focus on games. Now, granted, it's not a complaint, but there was that little worry, that lagging moment where they talked about movies and television on PlayStation 4, but it was, I don't want to say brief, but it wrapped up really nicely, and they didn't focus on it too much, and they almost say, like, you know what, enough of that, back to games. Almost the tone that they said it with when they said our primary focus is games. You can almost tell that, oh, we're losing this crowd, gotta get back to games. So far, I'm really loving what I'm seeing from Sony, and so far I'm on the track to definitely getting a PlayStation 4 this year. Hopefully I'll be saving enough money in order to be able to get myself one, and hopefully it'll be the first console that I'll get on its first year of life, and I'll be able to go into this next generation of consoles in a proper and excellent way. Now, before I wrap up this video, I do want to comment on Nintendo's E3 Direct conference thingy that they did. To be honest, it looks all great, very Nintendo-y. New Mario Kart, Zelda Wind Waker, new Zelda game for the 3DS. New Mario, new Yoshi's Island. Yeah, cool, but no cigar compared to Super Smash Brothers. Now, I am a little confused as to why they're not calling, there's no subtitle to Super Smash Brothers, it just has Super Smash Brothers for Wii U or 3DS. But yeah, now I have a solid reason to purchase a 3DS. I was going to post this on Twitter and I didn't get a chance to post it on Twitter, so I guess I'll just mention it in this video. But recently I have begun contemplating getting a Nintendo 3DS, and for the reason being is that I really want to get back into Nintendo games. I don't just want to be a Sony freak, PlayStation freak. I really do want to get back into Nintendo games like I used to be with the GameCube, with the Nintendo 64. I was Nintendo all the way. Then the Wii and the Wii U came out, and personally, I'm not a fan of either of those systems. I don't hate them, but I don't feel any sort of desire to pour money out of my wallet to purchase those systems because I don't know. I just don't feel like I will pick up a Wii U instantly and be like, oh my god, I can't wait to play this game. Minus maybe Super Smash Brothers and a couple other titles that they do have that are some, I don't want to say killer apps, but they're games that, you know, you would get a Wii U for, and you wouldn't mind getting a Wii U for, I should say. Yeah, I'm not gonna say you would, but you wouldn't mind. Um, Super Smash Brothers for the 3DS is definitely the kind of game that makes me go, okay, now I for sure want to get a 3DS. And the reason why going back to what I was talking about is that I've been contemplating getting a 3DS because I want to get back into Nintendo games, but I don't feel any sort of desire to burn a hole in my wallet for a Wii or a Wii U. So what's the next best thing where I can get some somewhat console quality games out of a cheaper and obviously portable system, a 3DS, particularly a 3DS XL, because just the bigger screens seem more attractive, and it seems like I can definitely get better console quality gameplay out of a portable system like that. And my voice is leaving. Oh my god. But yeah, recently I have begun the thinking process of getting a 3DS, and the reason why I should be going through a thinking process is because this is a bit of an investment. 3DS XLs go for $175 as of right now. They're on sale at Best Buy. So I definitely want to think this through. And if I do get one, it's probably going to be for my birthday because recently I've been getting myself my own PlayStation 3 games, so what can I treat myself to for my birthday? Hey, how about a new portable device? So, yeah, if I do get a 3DS, it'll probably be around, in the middle of August, around my birthday. And like I said, I want to get back into, Nintendo games, and so far there are some games on the 3DS that attract me as of now, pre-Super Smash Brothers, and games like Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, what was that game? Fire Emblem Awakening. Oh, there was another game for the 3DS. It was a Nintendo Wii game, it's Animal Crossing, New Leaf. And in their Nintendo Direct, they also unveiled that Pokemon X and Y are coming out October 12th. Yeah, I miss Pokemon a great deal. I was such a Pokemon fanatic, and I definitely want to get back into Pokemon again. And what better way than with the next generation of Pokemon? And I use the term next generation kind of loosely because, they release a new Pokemon game like every year or every other year, so it's not next generation exactly. But again, you got the new Pokemon games, you got more 3DS games, the new Zelda game, Link Between Two Worlds, or something like that. I think it's called. And I'm sweating. It's really hot here in the high desert in Southern California. It's really hot. Plus, I'm wearing this thing. And again, in my opinion, what's probably going to be the killer app for me for the 3DS is Super Smash Brothers. So definitely contemplated getting a 3DS, but I will be doing so for a while. In the meantime, I will focus on a slew of games that I have purchased recently for my PlayStation 3, and I'll be playing them throughout the summer. Now that the school semester is over, I can sit on my lazy ass and play these games. And hopefully I'll bring you guys more reviews on these video games as well as more movie reviews. And that is about it. Let me know what you guys thought of E3 this year. Let me know what you guys thought of the E3 conferences, Sony's, Xbox, Ubisoft's, EA's, Ubisoft and EA. What else could you expect? EA, Battlefield, sports, Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's the same footage, but it's footage that makes me go, okay, that looks cool. But moving on. So let me know what you guys thought of those conferences, of Nintendo's not pseudo conference / direct, and let me know where we're going, how are we entering the new generation of consoles and video game in general. video gaming in general. Thank you guys again for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos. Follow me on Twitter. The Twitter is down below at DarkSpiderDavid. And I bid you farewell. See ya.